2 decades had passed since the creation of both species. The war had begun.
1,400 years ago, the vampires, anticipating the need to guarantee the survival of their species, devised an exceptional strategy. 3 elders, Marcus the first of the vampires and brother of the Lycan William, Victor the leader of the vampire army who was bitten by Marcus, and Amelia a vampire, concluded a unique temporal pact to reign alternately, one awake to reign for a century while the other 2 plunged into a secular sleep.
My God, brother, what have you done?
I will not tolerate this any longer, Marcus. Your brother must be stopped.
A decisive moment arrived when the 3 elders were exceptionally awakened simultaneously to put an end to the threat embodied by William the werewolf and brother of Marcus, who was ravaging village after village with his bite. While investigating a village ravaged by werewolves, the vampires discovered a strange phenomenon. Despite cremating the bodies, the latter were transformed into resistant lichens. Victor's soldiers, loyal to their lord, wiped out the emerging creatures as they went along. William, surrounded by Victor's soldiers, was neutralized with silver nitrate chains, weakened and successfully subdued. Victor had promised Marcus that his brother William would not be harmed during his capture. However, Amelia and Victor betrayed their agreement. Faced with his soldiers' loyalty to Victor, Marcus submitted to Victor's orders.
What is thy will, my lord? Imprisonment for all time.
William, captured and sentenced to life imprisonment, marked the beginning of a deterioration in relations between Marcus and Victor. But Victor and Amelia, aware that Marcus' death would mean the death of all the vampires he had spawned, including themselves, chose to preserve their own existence. So Amelia and Marcus entered a hibernating sleep, leaving behind them a world where vampiric intrigues and rivalries would persist in the shadows for centuries to come.
Would anyone else like to be heard?
Victor reigned, and decades passed before an imprisoned werewolf gave birth to a human child.
Lucian.
Despite the temptation to kill him, Victor refused. He raised the child, christened Lucian, with the intention of turning him into a vampire servant. Lucian, as a Lycan, differed from his fellows in that he could take on human form at will, thus controlling his rage. War broke out when Victor killed his own daughter, Sonia, a vampire who had mated and become pregnant by Lucian, a Lycan, an act forbidden among vampires. Following this tragedy, Lucian became the leader of the Lycans and a war broke out between vampire and Lycan, and Lucian managed to kill Victor by thrusting a sword into his mouth. Although Victor survived and sought to hunt down the Lycans for revenge, Craven, Victor's right-hand man and now vampire leader, manipulated the situation. He faked Lucian's death by lighting the Great Fire and presented a cut mark on Lucian's arm to Victor as proof of Lucian's death.
You really must have a look at this, Michael.
Must I do everything myself?
That's enough! What are you doing?
bringing an end to this conflict.
Because I lived for it.
Three vampires, Celine, Rigel, and Nathaniel, keep a watchful eye on a group of Lycans, including Raisin Taylor, who are following a man into a subway station in the heart of the city. These Lycans appear to be in pursuit of a human, Michael Corvin. As they continue their stalking, Celine is spotted by Michael Corvin himself, and the situation takes a turn when Reyes, one of the Lycans, realizes they are being followed and attempts to ambush Nathaniel by opening fire. A confrontation between vampire and Lycan ensues, to the death. In an intense battle, Celine manages to eliminate a Lycan in a fierce fight and pre-draws her over it. Only to find herself hunted down by the fearsome Lycan Reyes. Seeking refuge, Celine discovers a secret lair beneath the subway, where a vast horde of Lycans is gathering, revealing the headquarters of this dangerous faction.
We have a serious problem.
Celine, sensing imminent peril, eagerly alerted her cohort of vampires. Despite her evidence, backed up by the analysis of ultraviolet bullets and the possible existence of a Lycan HQ beneath the subway, Craven, the vampire leader, rejected the idea, regarding the incident as an indiscriminate shootout requiring no intervention.
There could be dozens of Lycans down there. Who knows, maybe more.
Craven's right, Celine. Hundreds, really.
Victor would believe me.
Ignoring the superficial business of her gang, Celine decided to carry out her own investigations. Examining the digital photos taken by her colleague Rigel during the Lycan hunt, she noticed that the two creatures were following a human. Upon further computer research, she discovered that this was Michael Corvin, an employee of a local hospital in the city. Celine, determined, heads for Michael Corvin's dark apartment 510. As she searches the premises, Michael returned home. He noticed that the door was strangely open, alerting his instincts to impending danger.
Why are they after you?
She attempts to interrogate him as the apartment is invaded by a pack of Lycans. Now with her back to the wall, Celine deftly uses bullets to keep them at bay. Michael escaped by elevator.
Hello, Michael.
However, the door opens to an unexpected face-to-face encounter with Lucian, the Lycan's fearsome leader. As Celine targets Lucian, the latter manages to bite Michael, carefully collecting his blood and spitting it into a vial.
What the fuck is going on?
Taking advantage of the chaos, Celine and Michael flee together in his car. Meanwhile, Lucian regenerates, emerging unscathed from the ultraviolet bullets fired by Celine. Despite this, she persisted until she fainted, throwing the car into a river. Michael, alerted, rescued her and treated her wounds, but succumbed to unconsciousness himself. When she awoke, Celine carried Michael's unconscious body back to the vampire mansion, drawing Craven's wrath.
Oh, so now it's Michael!
His ambition was to make Celine his future queen, and his jealousy grew when he discovered her budding attachment to Michael Corvinus. Meanwhile, Lucian, the Lycan leader, gave Singe, a Lycan doctor, a vial of blood taken from Michael Corvin. After analysis, the result was positive. Lucian told Monkey that he'd had time to taste Michael Corvin's blood and that, with only 2 days to go before the full moon, Michael would become a Lycan. Lucian tells Singe that, with his transformation imminent, he'll go on a Lycan quest of his own, as there's no need for him to seek it out himself. As Victor awoke, Michael returned to the castle, seeking Celine's help with his incipient hallucinations.
Whether you like it or not, you're in the middle of a war that's been raging for the better part of 1,000 years. A blood feud between vampires and Lycan.
Chaining him up to prevent any damage from his impending transformation. As she gave him the bad news of his bite, she explained that at the next full moon, he would inevitably become a Lycan.
What are you
doing?
When the full moon rises tomorrow night, you will change, you will kill, and you will feed. It's unavoidable.
Celine, with an intensity in her gaze, revealed to Michael that these hallucinations were nothing more than fragments of Lucian's memories that he had transmitted when Lucian had bitten him. But their freedom is short-lived, as they are soon assaulted by Lycans. While Celine chooses to stay behind to confront the assailants, she orders Michael to escape by jumping from a high window.
Jump! Are you fucking kidding me?
Michael, after a spectacular fall of 5 or 6 stories, lands hard. However, as soon as he's back on his feet, he's captured by Lycans posing as police officers, setting off on a sinister journey to the Lycans' lair. Along the way, Michael's metamorphosis begins. Interrupting the process, the Lycans administer an enzyme to Michael to halt the transformation.
What? What's this ruckus?
Thanks to Celine's blood, Victor emerges from a 6th century sleep, intrigued by his sudden awakening.
You've been awakened a full century ahead of schedule.
Questioning Craven, he seeks answers about the circumstances of his awakening. Craven, absolving himself of responsibility, promises to uncover the truth. Victor, however, insists that Celine surrendered to him voluntarily, revealing that the visions induced by her blood have revealed disturbing events, weakening the coven.
She's defied your orders.
Your incompetence is becoming most taxing.
Craven explains to Victor that Celine is obsessed with a senseless conspiracy, claiming that she believes he is at the heart of one.
And here's my proof.
Celine, back at the mansion, brought with her, Singe the Lycan doctor, forcing Victor to hear the tale of how the Lycans have been trying for years to combine bloodlines by searching for the descendants of Alexander Corvinus. Singe the Lycan doctor, under pressure from Celine, told Victor that they had drawn the blood of thousands of humans to find a descendant of Alexander Corvinus, one line of whom had become the Marcus vampires, another the William Lycans, and that there was another human line carrying the pure strain of the hidden virus passed down through the ages to stop the war between Lycans and vampires. Singe tells Victor that Michael Corvin holds the pure strain of the virus, and Lucian plans to create a hybrid by injecting himself with the blood of Michael and a powerful former vampire, Amelia, resulting in a hybrid stronger than both species combined, vampires and Lycans. During the discussion, Craven flees after being unmasked by the disturbing revelations of Lycan Dr. Singe, and Victor realizes the truth about Craven. In response, Victor promises Celine revenge, planning to kill Craven, Lucian, and Michael Corvin.
Has already begun.
The vampires, led by Celine, Khan, and Victor, launch a ferocious offensive against the Lycan lair.
It's Victor.
In the midst of the battle, Craven betrays Lucian by administering bullets of silver nitrate in liquid form, designed to circulate directly in the Lycans' bloodstream, making their extraction impossible and condemning them to inevitable death. After countless battles and attacks on one side, vampires against Lycans mano a mano, and on the other side, Victor single-handedly confronted a Lycan with bare hands. As they flee, they come face to face with Craven, who shoots Michael with silver bullets, condemning him to certain death. As Michael lies, his wounds oozing silver nitrate, Craven reveals to Celine the true story of her dark father, Victor. Contrary to her belief, Celine's family were not killed by Lycans, but by Victor himself. This revelation stunned Celine. On the verge of death, Lucian intervenes in spectacular fashion, thrusting a sword into Craven's leg. With a dying breath, Lucian suggests Celine bite Michael, dying, forging a hybrid being, a powerful fusion of vampire and Lycan.
Bite him
Celine, hesitant but determined, carried out Lucian's request. Craven, merciless, finishes Lucian off. Michael Corvin, against all odds, survives and transforms according to the theory of Lycan Dr. Monkey. Victor, furious, throws Celine violently against the wall, realizing that the process of transforming Michael into a hybrid has begun. Celine confronts Victor with the truth, triggering a fierce and intense confrontation between Michael and Victor. Despite Michael's power as a hybrid, Victor mistreats him severely. As Victor looks set to kill Michael, an angry Celine reluctantly observes the confrontation before rushing in and slashing Victor's face with a determined gesture. Tense moment ensues when the rebellious Lycans recognize Michael as their leader, glorifying him. Celine and Michael, now on the run, become targets for vampires and Lycans alike. Meanwhile, Sinch, a Lycan doctor stunned by Victor's blow, his blood reaches Marcus' tomb, causing the latter to awaken as a half-vampire, half-Lycan creature.